the Foundation's representatives, evaluators, students, honorable and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am truly honored by the invitation to speak to you at this prestigious event. Indeed, it is quite prestigious because we must admit that today's youth are the inspiration and hope for our future. There are few other parts of the world where this notion is more real than right here. 62% of the population in Cameroon is below the age of 25. 60% of Sub-Sahara, as a matter of fact, is below the age of 25. That is about 571 million young minds. The median age in Cameroon is a mere 18.5 years. Even more interesting is the fact that of the 30 countries in the world with the lowest median age, 26 of them, including Cameroon, are from Sub-Saharan Africa. This means that we must prioritize the empowerment of our youth. If we are to advance this nation, this continent, we must engage them in such a way that they discover and pursue their respective passions, culminating in them becoming the best version of themselves. I would like to congratulate the Dennis and Laura Foundation for their wonderful initiatives towards this effort. In 2015, the United Nations member countries adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. At the heart of this agenda are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, commonly referred to as the SDGs. Together with the agenda, these goals try to eradicate poverty and achieve shared prosperity for all. The call is to leave no one behind, to transform our world. The United Nations has emphasized on the critical role of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in realizing these SDGs. Many of its units are charged with assisting countries towards investing in STEM, building capacity through policies and education. It is actually rare to find a country nowadays with a national agenda, present or futuristic, that does not include objectives referring specifically to STEM initiatives. Cameroon's Vision 2035 is no exception. The consensus is that STEM is essential in finding solutions to the economic, social, and environmental challenges in today's world. Now, a famous physicist and chemist, Marie Curie, said, and I quote, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood." Now, with all the young minds here, I want you to think about this quote for a second. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. What if the young people in this country, in this part of Africa, in the world, actually feared no subject? They had no phobia for any branch of knowledge that is studied. Take mathematics, for instance. If you must know, I was actually an art student. If we look up its definition, part of it actually states, math is all around us in everything we do. It is the building block for everything in our daily lives, including mobile devices, architecture, both modern and ancient, art, money, engineering, even sports. Imagine a new day where every young person approached math fearlessly. A day where they all believed nothing is to be feared. The same can be said for many other subjects in STEM. Today's mathematicians are well aware that before they became experts in their field, they started with simple math problems. For many of our young, it is fear that actually holds them back. They are terrified when they see complex operations on a blackboard or a whiteboard. When a computing machine processes in a few minutes what would otherwise take years for the human brain, They are mystified. But really, is it not as simple as nothing in life is to be feared? It is only to be understood. I strongly believe that many of our youth do not navigate towards the STEM fields because deep down, they do not believe the words of Marie Curie. As educators, we have a significant role to play towards making this new day a reality. We are called upon to demystify our subject matter and inspire our students to gain interest in our various fields. This is fundamentally the role of a teacher, delivering the material to your students in a relatable manner and actively making the effort to translate the material into words and ideas that inspire curiosity. Consider the smartphone, prominently in use by young people. In fact, they are referred to as the Android generation. That is my field as a computer scientist. I can say to you, imagine what would happen if most of the young were curious about how the smartphone actually works. If they wondered what they could do to make it more efficient, what they could do to make it more useful. It is well documented that curiosity leads to creativity and innovation. It's interesting to note that the Global Innovation Index, which is an annual ranking of countries based on their success in and their capacity for innovation, in its recently published 2018 index, Cameroon ranked 111th out of 126 countries. We must ask ourselves, how much of this is a result of barriers that have been instilled in the minds of our youth regarding STEM? How much of this is because we have not presented our subject matter in a more interesting way, a way that promotes curiosity in their encounters with the world around them? I'll now speak on a second quotation that I have from a tech entrepreneur, Aaron Patzer. And he states, very simply, solve a real problem and the world is yours. Let us think about this second one. Solve a real problem and the world is yours. I'll tell you a short story. I was chatting with a friend and colleague of mine last week. He told me he has a brother abroad who does not understand why he refuses to leave this country and pursue a career in the USA. You see, my friend has a PhD in mathematics, so he will not find it difficult to get a job abroad. Still, when it comes to his brother's ideas, my friend insists to me that it is all a matter of perspective. When his brother comes to Cameroon to visit him, and they are going around, all his brother sees is pollution, chaos, inequality, high levels of unemployment, and so on and so on. But my friend tells me he does not see what his brother sees. He sees opportunity. So when his brother asks him to come to the USA because there is so much opportunity there, interestingly, he doesn't get it. He cannot believe how much opportunity there is here, because as far as he is concerned, everywhere he turns, there is something to innovate, something to repair, something to enhance, something to develop. All around him, he sees problems he can solve. He sees chances to find solutions that will not only be applicable locally, but globally as well. He sees things he can do that will have societal impact. So, solve a real problem and the world is yours. You may not believe it, but I insist to you that there could not be a better place to prove that is true than here. Let me extend my congratulations to the young scholars of this StemPrize. You are applauded for your perseverance and exceptional individual growth. I am sure you will excel in whatever you choose to embark on and will make a positive impact in our environment. You are already a contributor to the betterment of society. I urge you to continue to believe. For the others who began this journey or are contemplating doing so a year in the future or in some other similar venture, please, I urge you to keep these quotes in mind as you navigate your chosen endeavor. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. solve a real problem, and the world is yours. Thank you.